it was a 3-0 that was overturned in South Africa.
You could see the morale that the goalkeeper of Limpopo had. When Pirate wanted to play the first penalty, the morale, the ginger he was giving made the Pirate player to play the ball to his own direction. But to the Pirates keeper, he was working like a pregnant woman. You that is in your own country, in your own stadium, that was supposed to have given more morale to your own players and destabilizing this other player, you were the one instead making the Limpopo players having more mind to play.
The game has come, it has ended 5-1 at home, 2-0 in South Africa. They tried. Just as you guys, your robust analysis, the Portuguese coach came into the dugout in South Africa. It was a 2-0 encounter. Right here in Nigeria, it was coach Ogumodede, and it was 5-1. Two different tactical approach to the game. Well, the better side actually took the day. Al-Hilal versus Kenya Police. Al-Hilal came out the winners on that very evening with 3 goals, 1-1 against Kenya Police, and on aggregate it ended 4-1. What do you make of that game?
Al-Hilal of Sudan was a better side, both in the first leg and the second leg. Kenya Police only succeeded in scoring 1 goal in the both legs. You could see that the match ended in aggregate, it ended 4-1. So I'm tipping Al-Hilal of Sudan for them to go far in this tournament.
Right. Looking at the game very, very deep as someone that knows the game of football, do you think that the Kenyan team do not possess such players that were able to compete with the Al-Hilal side? Or you think Al-Hilal side possess the kind of players that can be able to compete come the main CAF Champions League?
What I have to say, one thing, Sudan itself as a country, they've won African Nations Cup before. They hosted and won. And Sudan in Africa is a football country, but Kenya is not a footballing country. Kenya, they only know Kenya with long distance races. They just got into football now. And I think that with that age that Sudan has, since they've been playing football for a very long time, and this their club, Al-Hilal, has been a strong club in CAF Championship for a very long time. So they have that age over Kenya. And their football development is far, far more different from that of Kenya. Kenya is still developing football, but it still needs time to match up with Al-Hilal.
All right, thank you. So, Chima, what say you, Al-Hilal, Kenya Police?
So, Sudan, yes, like you said, they're a well-known team, at least in Africa, playing well. Sudan is good, and Al-Hilal as well. They are very, Al-Hilal, they are a good team as well. So I don't think Kenyan team will have done anything better than what they did. So they definitely, and coming to the group stage, they are going to do well as well.
Orlando Pirates versus St. Eloi Limpopo. What do you make of that game? The game came out 3-0, Pirates coming 3-0 winners over St. Eloi. In the first leg, it was 3-0 away to Limpopo. So we did discuss. Yes, we did discuss that Pirates can overturn that result. That at the end of the day, it ended up 3-0, and penalty was actually the judge of the day. So what do you make of that game that day?
Yeah, in life, when you want to start a fight, it's always good to start well, because if you are looking at someone, and in any game you are going for, it's always good to give your best at that very point, because you don't know what tomorrow holds. And then anything you come in to do as a man, as a team in this life, the first attack is what matters most. You cannot reserve your best for the last. And that was exactly what happened to Orlando Pirates. Orlando Pirates going to away to lose 3-0. For me, I feel like that was where they lost that game entirely, because for a team like that you want to qualify, you want to play in the CAF Champions League this season, I don't think that you should have gone to a place like Congo with that team, Lupopo, not their biggest team there, but they are doing well, of course. But going there, losing 3 goals, I feel like they've already lost. Yes, some of the fans, some of the journalists there in South Africa, they complain about the bad pitch, they complain about the pitch not being wet. But of course, this is African football, and then in Africa, the games are always quite different from European football, because in Africa, it's a place where you are going to play a team. When you are going to play that team, the team is already prepared. In fact, if it's possible for them to even enjoy you at the airport so that you not have your 2 legs to play, they will do that. but it shouldn't be like that because football is fair play, and then football is what gives people joy. But you shouldn't win at the expense of your opponent's life or so. So I feel like maybe the way they treated Pirates over there was not that okay. Then playing on a bad pitch, CAF also need to look into some of these challenges because we are building African football to be like the standard of Europe, world stage. So I don't think if clubs are deliberately keeping their pitch dry, deliberately trying to discomfort the opponent so that they will not give their best, I don't think that is the best way to play football now. It might be so before, but now I think you should have outgrown that thing. Train your team very well, sign good players, build players well, do the right thing, eat well, take care of yourself, have your pattern, train well, have tactics. When you come to the game, outplay your opponent on the pitch, even with good and standard pitch, not just coming there to come and do it. So I think this is what affected Pirates. Losing 3 goals, they came back Pretoria to South Africa. Then in that game, they really tried well, scoring 3 goals. If they have lost that game like maybe 2-0, 1-0 or 2-1 or even 3-1, they're scoring away goal, they will have qualified automatically. But now you coming back to your home with a 3 goals deficit, then starting the game with that mindset that you need to score 3 goals first before we can even be in this game. Actually, I feel like that was a lot of pressure for Orlando Pirates. But then they led up to the pressure. They were able to score that 3 goals. At that minute, they scored the 3rd goal. Now scoring that goal already, they are playing home. Yet the Limpopo team still have some kind of advantage because to them they have nothing to lose because Pirates is a bigger team to Limpopo. So coming to South Africa to play that kind of game, they already knew that anyhow we are going to be, at least we must go home with something. When he got to that penalty shootout, I blame that goalkeeper for that penalty shootout. Chane was so like a Dasika. It was so like he felt like I didn't see any energy in him during the penalty shootout. Your team have scored 3 goals in a game, 90 minutes. Now getting to penalty shooter, you as a goalkeeper supposed to ginger the ball. You're supposed to come into the 18-yard ball. Let your opponent let that opponent have that fear that if I play this ball to this play, maybe this keeper, the way he's behaving, he might catch the ball. You made the opponent feel so relaxed. You made the opponent feel so comfortable. The opponent will just keep the ball, and you are walking as if you are going to supermarket. You are walking as if you are a woman to the pool where your team needs you to ginger up. I felt like that was very, very bad.
But it's the ball that comes close to him that he will catch now.
Fine. The ball that comes, but in football, at that stage of that football, as a professional like that, you should try physically to put fear in your opponent. At least mind game matters a lot. Yes, even though Nwabali is sometimes he behave badly, but this are some kind of places where your stubbornness, where your attitude, character in football comes to play. Because as a player, when you want to play a penalty shooter, you don't really know where the keeper want to dive to. The keeper already within his mind, he knows where he want to dive to, and then he's also thinking that where are you going to play this ball to. So you as a goalkeeper, you are now working. The pressure is on the player more than the goalkeeper. So if you want to play penalty, the player is feeling the pressure more because you as a goalkeeper, you are just in the pole. If the player scores, fine for you, nobody will blame you too more. But as a player, they expect you to score that, but if you miss, the pressure will be on you. So the goalkeeper have more advantage, and that was what that goalkeeper, Lupopo goalkeeper was doing against Pirates. He was putting fear in them, but that Chane for Pirates did not do that at all, and I was very, very bad about that.
Nice word on marble. Mr. Kema, looking at this game, it was a 3-0 that was overturned in South Africa. Do you think the pressure placed on the South African side, scoring at the dime minute before he came into a penalty shootout, do you think that is one of the major reasons that actually made them to lose in the penalty?
No, that wasn't the major reason. And you can score goals at any time, even from the first minute to the 90th minute. A goal is always a goal. Win is a win. You understand me? I said it here on this podcast that Pirates will overturn that result because they are going to play on a very good pitch. They are going to play under a very good atmosphere, of which they did. In as much as the Limpopo team players came to the party, kind of to hold them from scoring, but at the long run, they scored the last goal, which I was very, very happy because that day I supported Orlando Pirates. Truly, I've been an Orlando Pirates fan for over a period now. But my annoyance was from that goalkeeper. You could see the morale that the goalkeeper of Limpopo had when Pirates wanted to play the first penalty, take the first penalty shot. The morale, the ginger he was giving, made the Pirate player to play the ball to his own direction. But to the Pirates keeper, he was walking like a pregnant woman. You that is in your own country, in your own stadium, that was supposed to have given more morale to your own players and destabilizing this other player. You were the one instead making the Limpopo players having more mind to play because he was sluggish. Sometimes when they call him up to come and stand for on the post, he will walk across the post, the goal line, come back. I don't know what he was doing that for. I don't know. I don't even know where he's from. If he's really from South Africa. He wasn't. No, truly, he wasn't behaving like a South African. And even it was a keeper like Ronnie Williams. He wouldn't have done. At least he would have caught 2 or 3 penalties. Or even if he didn't catch anyone, he would have forced those Limpopo players to play it away from the post. But look at, he was even giving them more chance. He was even the one encouraging the Limpopo players where to play. I didn't see any good move that he made there. He was the one that lost this game for Orlando Pirates. To me, that's my own opinion.
All right. You see, in the game of football, let me just pin out 1 or 2 things. I want to borrow from what Chima has said and what you have said as well. The goalkeeper has so many flaws because I think, particularly, maybe he took cold tea before that match. If he had took maybe hot tea, maybe his system, his adrenaline would have been bumper and well energized. And that onside. And secondly, in the game of football, most times, when much is expected from a bigger side, just as Chima rightly pointed out, the team that is not in the picture or that is not a bigger team, it looks as if there's nothing at stake. So everything now is upon the players or the team of the Orlando Pirates side. Now, they overturned the 3-0 deficit. And I think the nerve-wrenching 3-0 they struggled to score. It was nerve-wrenching. Are you getting the picture? It was as if you're shooting a bullet and somebody is using like a boomerang to hit back, to hit it back at you. You are using your energy. Somebody is there. So they use all their energy, everything they have in the game of football to play the 90 minutes. And at the 9 minute, they scored the 3 goals. Yes. When it was time for penalty,
they lost morale.
They lost.
It was their keeper that cost all
the keeper as well. Now, see, I want to accept too as well that they lost the morale because they have used all their energy, all their nerves and everything, just like someone that flew a plane for like 16 hours, traveling to maybe like Canada or where, and you want to play a football match the next day. It wouldn't work out. So the thing is that when it ended up penalty, the goalkeeper, yes, for real, he didn't actually
he didn't up his ante at least in one way or the other to put trepidation into the mind of the opposition side. But at the end of the day, the game ended 5-4 on that penalty. So our next discussion goes Rivers United versus Black Bulls of Black Bulls of Mozambique. We did discuss that game here. I would say that was you over there. And yes, I did say it can end 1-1 draw. Yes.
Yeah, because I feel the Mozambican side are coming back home.
What was my prediction?
Yeah, because of the shady kind of football they play, that they give up a 5-star performance, looking that their Nigerian side that are supposed to produce one of the best players in Africa. But what do you make of that game that day?
Yes, I told you here on this podcast that 1-0 is not a score. It's not a winning score. It can be overturned at any given time. I don't know the situation at which they played in Mozambique, that they scored them that 1-0. But when they came to Nigeria, to Rivers United Stadium, where they played, I think that should be in Samson's in the stadium in Rivers there. They played very, very well. They scored 3 straight goals, and this was scored 1. I knew Finidi was going to overturn the result. I'm giving kudos to him, and I'm tipping them to go further in this tournament. But so, I said that they were going to overturn this. It could be 3-0, it could be 4-1. That was exactly what the words I used.
All right, Chima. The Rivers United side, led by Coach Finidi George, overturned the result and scored 3-1 against the Mozambican side. Do you think the Rivers United have a team that can be able to compete come CAF Champions League, African Champions League?
Rivers United, I don't think they can do well in the tournament because I've seen the team and I know for a Nigerian league side, they have this kind of attitude because when you talk about Black Bulls, who is Black Bull in African football? Who are they? Where are they coming from? Coming from Mozambique. Who is Mozambique to compare to Nigeria? If you talk about teams that should scare Nigerian team, it should be like all the South African team, Tunisian team, Moroccan team, Egyptian team, then maybe Sudanese team, and then which other country again in Africa. So we are not really doing well. And Rivers United, for me, I feel like yes, they got it easy at least with that opponent. But I know Finidi George is a well-experienced coach, and then the players you might hear now maybe before the season starts now in the CAF champion, maybe they will have sold one or two of their good players to one of those. Maybe even if you might even shock you that even that Mozambique team say the state of our league in Nigeria here. Maybe when those guys are going back to Mozambique, one or two players can even follow them to go and sign contract in that Mozambique. I'm telling you the honest truth. That is just the fact about our Nigerian league side. Because why? These guys, the preparation, look at the stadium when they was playing, almost barely empty. Did you see Pirate Stadium? Did you see other people's stadium? But if you see Rivers play, the game looked as if they were playing against one academy team. Nobody came out to watch the game. The game was just dull. Only the atmosphere of the players inside the pitch. Outside that, nothing like that. You can't play like this in the CAF Champions League. Then if you play a tougher opponent in the group stage, I don't think they can go for, except they change the mental, because those guys, the welfare matter when it comes to that tournament proper. They have to take proper care of this guy. They have to do some certain things, take care of these guys well. Then because they are going to be playing the league, playing the CAF Champions League, traveling away. You not just travel, you take a bus to airport, from airport you take one flight, you get there, the boys they will not even sleep in a good hotel. All of those things like that. All those things, if you go away, they can even beat you 4-5-0. And their team, if not for this thing, 1-0, yes, it's not a scorer like he said. But there are many teams that will come with 1-0 advantage and then to your ground and still defend and even score you safe in that play. So for me, what I've seen so far in the game, I wasn't that impressed. But I believe if they must do well in that CAF Champions League group stage, that means Rivers United must do more than what they have done.